Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I just want to get right into things. For those of you that know me and my channel, rarely do we talk about politics here. We talk about societal narcissism in a broad sense. Because the truth is societal narcissism is on all upper areas of life. And by their decision making, that societal narcissism trickles down to the average person. Mostly without them even knowing they are following such narcissism. But what we also talk about is how many of us grew up in homes with narcissist parents. Or how many of us dated or married a narcissist. And this list goes on and on. And throughout our many talks over the years, many of us have been able to connect the dots because the societal narcissism we see in the upper areas of life, almost becoming a mirror image of what we suffered and went through in our narcissistic homes of origin. Sure, the stage may be bigger for those at the upper areas of society. But the methods and many of the chess moves are the same or very, very similar. We have a saying here in the narcissistic abuse community. And that saying is, narcissists seem to be all reading off of the same sheet of music. Or, it seems all of the narcissists worldwide are somehow using the same playbook. Because it doesn't matter if the narcissistic abuse victim is from Japan or the United States. It seems though there are a few differences. The overall outline appears to be the same. Down to the flying monkeys of the narcissist and the smear campaign. Well, that brings me to the topic of today's happening. And it's sad I have to say this. Because we will be diving deep today. But what we are going to talk about here in no way is an endorsement of anyone at all. Nor is it me saying I like or dislike anyone at all. Again, it's sad one has to lead with such a statement. But again, this is the narcissistic world we live in. And narcissists love to twist words and take what people mean out of context. But with that being said, many if not most of us know exactly what the smear campaign looks and feels like. Especially if we were introduced to it as children. And trust me, this is all going to tie in with the image on the screen behind me and today's terrible happening. But you see, when you are growing up in a home with a narcissist parent or parents, they are the ones that are in complete control. And they want to keep that control forever. Even when you are grown. But what the narcissist parent or parents do, is they start sizing up which child is going to fit in what role. And it's the one that wants to speak the truth about things. Tends to be the child targeted, and I do mean targeted as the scapegoat. And I say targeted, because anyone that has grown up in such a home, completely and utterly feels like someone that is targeted. And the reason why we feel this way, is because since our narcissist parent or parents know we are a truth teller, and they usually can find this out by a simple test, they will purposely lie in front of us to someone else. And then later on, they will make sure they are in a situation where that lie comes up in front of you again. Now you as a child might not have said anything in front of the person that was lied to. But when they leave, you might confront your narcissist mother or father, and ask them why they lied to that nice person. Then the narcissist parent will start to gaslight you. And say they don't know what you are talking about. Or you must have misheard things. Or they might even call you crazy. But what they are wanting to see is how hard do you persist with the truth. If they see you just won't let it go, they know there is a possibility that you will blow their cover in front of someone else. And it might come out of nowhere, and because they weren't prepared for such a thing, it might make them look bad. And we know that won't fly with a narcissist parent. So what they do is they start a smear campaign. Also they can hold on to their power as the narcissist parent or parents. Now they do get enjoyment and narcissistic supply from doing all of this. But the end result is to make sure everyone and anyone will see you as a bad person. And not just a bad person, but a horrible person. They will take all of the things that are genuinely you and reverse them. If you really love animals, they will make sure everyone knows that you are terrible around animals. And that you hate them. They will convince everyone at the grocery store you and your family go to for your shopping. To the mail carrier. To your neighbors, to your extended family members. Even your friends from school and their parents. And before you know it, you feel surrounded and like you are a targeted person. Well, I will tell you what. With political feelings aside, I from day one of this mess years ago felt like Donald Trump was going through this exact same process at the hands of the societal narcissists. AKA the narcissist parents. Now remember, this is not me saying I like the guy or I don't like the guy. But what it is me not living in denial about what I'm seeing with my own little cartoon eyes. I will give you an example. Look for videos where different street reporters walk up to random people and say, I'm going to read off some quotes to you. And tell me who said them. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump. And majority of the time, all of the horrible things that are read off to these individuals, the people that have to guess or give their answer, 9 times out of 10 say, it was Donald Trump. And the street reporter will say, I'm just curious. Why would you think that? And the person answering will say, I don't know. It just sounds like something Trump would say. Then the street reporter says, well, how would you feel if you were told that was a direct quote from Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden? I think you get the idea. And the person answering just turns like a deer in the headlights. The street reporter shows them the quote and where it came from. And some are just in shock and rethink their stance or answers. And some just double down and say, oh, I don't care. Trump is evil. So my question is, where did this thinking and feeling about him come from? Well, if you look, it happened very similarly how the smear campaign was run on us by our narcissist parents. Because you see, the narcissist parents rely on all of the people not having all of the facts or context. And before you know it, the hate these people develop seems to take on a life all of its own. I've told the story many times here. How likely my mother doing such a smear campaign on me with a so-called friend of mine that was and is likely a narcissist too. But this smear likely led to this so-called friend having me lured to a certain location, to where I was jumped and beaten up within an inch of my life. All to make it look like something he had no idea was going to happen. Here's what I see. When I see the Trump situation, no matter if he is too a narcissist or not. Because remember, narcissists can and do go after other narcissists. They sure do. But what I see when I look at this situation is, I see a great many that have been a part of a particular system that works on the deception of the people they serve. Also, they can get rich and be powerful. Powerful just like the narcissist parents. And they see Donald Trump just like the kid that was going to call out their parents and say the truth. No, mom. I heard you lie on the phone when you were talking to so and so. That's not true. That's how those that are in power see Donald Trump. And just like our narcissist parents, they will say and do anything. Anything to make everyone hate him. And to make people scared to even question what is going on. Think about it. For those of you in the West, do you feel safe at your place of work? Or even just at a random location, where people start talking about Trump this or Trump that? Do you feel like you are safe to say, wait a minute here, I have some questions about things. Why is it 0 to 100 with all of these people hating Trump? And then come to find out most of them don't even know why they hate him. And half the things they think he said, he didn't even say. Or they have the wrong context completely. That most anyone can see if they are thinking without hate in their hearts. But the truth is, most don't feel safe to even say anything about it. People go on there, they hate Trump because of this reason and that reason. And most of the other people that have facts they want to say, just keep it to themselves, and I understand why. Because again, it's just like living in a home with a narcissist parent and several kids. If one kid stands up and says, "I didn't hear so and so say that," they know they too might be labeled or targeted as a scapegoat. So they remain quiet. Then you look at all of the censorship that is happening on this platform. If someone is a Christian, censored. If they want to speak their mind about something they don't agree with that doesn't walk in lockstep with the societal narcissists, censored. But, Trump is evil, is what they say. Again, this isn't me saying I think the guy is good or bad. I'm just saying what I see. And what I see and what I feel feels just like what I and many of you grew up with in our homes of origin. Censored. Afraid to speak up. Gaslit. Smeared. Everyone turned against us. Repeatedly put in situations that are dangerous for our lives. But if we say, "Hey, wait a minute. This and that is happening," you are told, "Oh, you are just making it up because you hate your mother. How dare you hate and mistreat your mother the way you do? Or your father?" When the truth is you love your mother and your father even though they are doing evil to you. And you try to get them to see what they are doing is wrong. Because back then we didn't know you can't reason with a narcissist. And they do not change. This is important. All of this is important. Because it looks like someone else tried to delete former President Trump today. And it looks like it might have been another close call. All because though his security detail did their job to the best of their ability, they just didn't have the tools to prevent this wacko from even getting into position to attempt to do what he did. It looks like there was a security agent one hole on the golf course ahead of Trump. And he spotted the weapon poking through a fence. He engaged the would-be assassin. And the other security dove on top of Trump. They found an abandoned weapon. Likely because he ran because he was being fired upon by the security agent. And I think 2 backpacks hung up on a fence. Along with a GoPro. Likely so he could film the event and upload it to social media. Hopefully we will learn more. But this is the reason why channels that talk about narcissism in this way get held back. Because like I said, years ago before all of this censorship mess started, I was getting in some cases 200 subscribers a day. Every day. Some days 100. And I had videos doing very well. Then one day, just like a bunch of others, poof, it all stopped. And my subscriber count has been almost the complete same. Actually a little lower for the last 7 to 8 years. When before that, there were times it was growing so fast. I would wake up to several hundred new subscribers for the day. Now those were great days. But on average days, 75, 100, or 200 were common. And then it stopped. You see. Just like the narcissist parents. They make it so your part of the story can't be heard or known. And then they craft a narrative about who you are and how bad you are. To everybody they can. And you literally can't defend yourself. Well, the societal narcissists don't want the average person to know how this all works. Because if you do, you might wake up and stop believing them and their lies. The guys in the back on the screen are the ones that are working on the case. And I will assume they are trying to do the right things, and I pray and hope they get answers. But if your gut has been telling you for years, what you've been seeing play out in the media feels very much the same or similar to what you grew up in. But you have all of the flying monkeys saying they hate Trump but they don't even know why they hate him. So if your gut is telling you one thing, and the angry people are saying something else, just know. Do not engage these people. Don't. Even if you don't like Trump. But what you are seeing and feeling feels wrong to you. And you know even though you don't like the guy, you feel he's going through what you went through. You don't have to explain it to people that are just hating for the sake of hating. but do what we've talked about for a long time here in the narcissistic abuse community. Trust your gut. You don't have to explain to people why or how. Just trust your gut. Because many of us in this community know. Trusting our guts has saved us time, money, heartache, and in some cases our very life. Many people say that gut feeling we get is the Holy Spirit trying to warn and speak to us. But again, I'm just calling it like I see it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a cartoon. Well, I think this is a great place to stop. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.